Okay, we're going to unplug. We're going to... Oh, that was pretty loose. All right, so this is an M57 Zoeller Sump Pump I just took out. Problem we're having is, unlike a lot of people, where the switch goes bad and it constantly runs. This problem, what happened was the float would actually, and I have a video of this, the float would be way underwater, and this pivot point right here, you just jiggle it and it would snap back up and tick in. So the whole goal here is remove all this, make this a N57, and then use a separate device, and I'll show that here, to actually engage the pump. So we're going to
take this off. This is a 2011. It was installed. Been fairly decent. This is a solid state float. There's no holes in it. But when this is underwater, you know something is not going good. I'll take this off. Hopefully it's not too rusted in there.
Alright, just pop that in there. That did pop out pretty well. Did not need to use a hammer. Alright. So that's that pivot point. That seems to cause the problem. And... oh, okay. We're going to take that out. Alright, so yeah, this is the switch. Usually this goes bad. You can see it's all fairly more like a relay switch. Pop that off. Seal's not bad. Reuse that. Alright. So keep the ground. Alright, so a couple of the videos on YouTube have the black on the one post and the white on the number 2 post, which obviously is not what I have here. So, but it looks to me the way this switch is, black to black, white to white. So that's what we're going to do. If it doesn't work, well, all it is reset the breaker and we'll go from there. So we're going to cut, do it one at a time. There we go. Yeah, oh, that's easy. It's just a pole. Not the sharpest ones, but hey, let's go a bit smaller. There we go. And right. Wire nut these up. Now, if this was wet inside, I probably would do maybe a little bit of silicone or something on that. All right, I think before we, I don't know if I want this to be, no, okay. That's the intake right there. This actually, I have it sitting on a big tile. But let's just go ahead and see what happens. Won't be very long here. All right. Did not blow a breaker, which the gentleman on the other YouTube video that had, maybe it was the M53 model, this is the M57, had the wires swapped. Specifically, he said one with the black, and it blew his breaker. He had to reset it. So I'm going to go ahead. We don't need this bar anymore. Let's see if we can take that out. Messing it up. There we go. Bottom of his float. Oh, that's good. It's just a little tether. And you know what? We will cut. Yeah, it's just a little tether. It keeps the float from flying away. We don't need that. So I looked inside. The seal looks good. Everything is dry. Like I say, this has been underwater. We've had some major rainstorms here. And where actually the water was almost overflowing the top of the sump and of the pit. So this is definitely good and sealed. I'm going to leave it like that. And go ahead and
seal everything back up, and we'll go from there. And there's another one. And of course, one is missing. Ah, there we go. The magic hands of the camera person. Alright. Get those all kind of get started.
all right, next we're going to do the float. I need to read the directions. All right, so here's the replacement for the mechanical switch. They have some excellent videos. Basically give you a whole idea. I did actually look at the manual, I know. But this is actually what happens. This sits up here. This is the low level. And once it gets up to here, it kicks in. It's 10 inches of height. And then if this, whatever sensor is here, fails, that's another one up here as an extra. And basically what controls it is this gizmo here. The pump goes into this. If this goes into the wall, and this is what actually triggers the pump to come on. So they gave a couple of these. Some people I've seen would go ahead with the stainless steel metal bands, but we will go ahead and get these, see how it works. If we find that these don't work, we'll switch to the metal bands as well. Alrighty. And I think the only thing they talk about is you need at least 2 inches of clearance when you place this back in between it and the wall. Now what I do have to worry about is right here is my little weep hole that's required nowadays below your one-way valve. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we stick it on this side. And I know if I hold up the old pump, it sucks in the water down here. So basically this part, you know, it'll probably be about this much water. So we'll try to see what we can do with that. You know what, let's go ahead and get these somewhat tied up first. And we'll slide it down. All right, so keep away from everything. All right, tighten that up, tighten that up, and not really the best tool, but hey, it's down here, and it might be a little more difficult. Let's get some light on it. All right, let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and put it back in the pump. All right, so here's the pump. You can see the square platform that it's going to sit on. And that's normally what the water level is at, unless it's really drought. What's dripping in there is from the air conditioning, the condensation. The other pipes are overflow for hot water. All right. So close. There we go. All right, perfect.